Well, what a show that was. So, I don't know if you can hear me, and I kind of feel like there's going to be some issues with the mic. So, guys and girls, I see you already piled in on the chats. Let me know. It sounds good, but I reckon we're going to clip a lot. And if we're going to clip a lot, that kind of sucks. That makes me have to like talk really lightly or something like that. So, I assume there was a fair few guys and girls that tuned in to the one, the only, the Corn Life Network. And if you were tuned in, then you would know that they have just done a pre-Grom live fluffing for the Grom, which was absolutely epic. So first Friday night salute goes to you guys, because dude, Ricky shreds hard though, and Chill Adventures, you guys done an absolutely fantastic job, man. Like, you know, when the main band comes on after an epic like warm up, they got to work twice as hard. So we see the chats, fine, yes, good. Let's hope so. Let's see how many cues I can hit this week. Let's see if I can remember the glasses in the news. But first of all, the most important part, the real je ne sais quoi of a Friday night. Coffee, live, on a table. Can we pour it without spilling it? Ah, you know he's a pro, man. This is like a goddamn bistro advert. Right. Let's just give you lovely guys and girls a little bit of time to get settled in, get that chats ignited, get those little hearts and likes and everything fired. And yeah, make sure if you are watching this live, make sure you get in the live chats, guys and girls, because there is such an amazing little community that pops up there every Friday night and does just wonders, man. You guys are absolutely phenomenal, and I appreciate the hell out of you all taking your time out to tune in. Also, to everybody that watches this back whenever they get time, when they're free, when they're away from the daily grind, and you tune in on the lives, it still goes to help. So appreciate the hell out of that. Don't forget, leave some comments, leave some feedback. Let me know where you were when you watched it, how much you enjoyed it, what do you want to see in the future, and all that juicy stuff. Also, later on in the show, I'll show you email address if you ever want to get in contact with me. But it's Friday night, guys and girls. The hair is still tied up, but it's coming down. There's a very important question before we fire up the show that's been plaguing me all day. Is the Snoopy shirt Hawaiian enough? If Billy gives the go-ahead and says, yes, it's Hawaiian, it stays. If he says, no, it's not Hawaiian enough, it's got to go. Let's get this show on the road, guys and girls. It's Friday Night Live with a Grom.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You are now tuned in to Friday Night Live with the Grom.
What is up, guys and girls? It's Friday night. We're live. I hope you've got some beverages. I hope you're ready to rock and roll for an awesome show. Well, as awesome can be. The coffee is hot. The edits have been done. And the pre-show warm-up was more than a warm-up. It was on fire. Madness. It really is real. So, this week in Grom's life, and seems like so many other people's lives, there's been a funk. There's been a certain air of the mood in everybody's lives, and I spoke about it in the vlog a little while ago, saying in regards to whether it's a blue moon that was on the horizon, whether it's the fact that Mercury is in retrograde. I don't know. All I know is that it seems to be a funk in the air, and it seems to be following me and a lot of the other people that I stay in contact with. So, as it is Friday night, I hope you've shaken the funk of the week. I hope we're going to go into the weekend with plenty of stoke, plenty of excitement, and plenty of adventure. Because, yeah, stressful week in the life of the Grom. Lost his temper once or twice. Apologised once. Didn't have the opportunity the first time. But never mind, if you watch the vlog, you will have seen the dramas of the week. There was also an epic and a most monumental moment just about caught on drone. And yeah, dude, if you didn't see it, I hate to break it to you, but the Grom took an almighty crash while on the skateboard and while flying the drone. There has already been comments made at the fact that I blame the skater, the inline blader that I skated with. Bless him, he's a legend, and I've been pulling his leg all week. But basically, I'd given him the operation of firing up the GoPro, and he was skating in front of me. And the GoPro is a silly thing from time to time, and I don't know if you guys have suffered this with later models, but I own the Hero 8, and from time to time, if I've been using the automatic record function on it a lot in a very short time, has a tendency to not want to fire up when you need it the most. And bless him, he was in front of me and the camera didn't fire up, and in which case he decided the clever thing to do would be stop. He stopped, and I was looking at a phone attached to a drone screen, basically, or a drone controller, and had to make kind of evasive maneuvers. It was my choice. It was 50-50. Yes, I went the wrong way. And if you've seen the drain cover in the vlog episode, Scene of the Crime, you'll see that was a fat lip, dude. And yeah, so we crashed and monumentally smoked my knee. But the one thing that I was absolutely stoked about was I took the hit, man. I took one for the team. We did save the phone and we did save the drone controller. It took minor damage on the back of the controller. The phone looked untouched. And luckily for me, I had a remote that I could actually retrieve the drone with, because there was this little overlying question of what if? What if I'd absolutely smoked either the phone or the controller, more so the controller, because I know I can fly it without the phone. But if I'd smoked that controller, dude, I have half an hour's lunch break in its entirety. A battery life on a DJI Mini 2 tends to last for about that, if not more, by the time it does its own sort of emergency landing due to power failures. Would I have been able to wait? I would have had to. So yeah, but gnarly thoughts, gnarly week, and that is just merely the kind of the icing on the cake with that, because well, it's not even the icing, man. That was like the ground, you know. It was the foundations of the cake of the rest of the week. But nevertheless, it's behind us now. It's Friday night. You guys are here. I'm here. Lades are on. The show must go on. So, as always, in true Grom fashion, we'll have a little standard issue things this evening. We've got the news coming up. Then we're going to obviously shine a light. I've been a bit of a crafty one this week, and I'm shining the light yet again. So, we're going to shine the light on somebody that's absolutely very much worthy, and I don't ever really give him enough props, but we will make sure that we give him some tonight. Then there is a massive update for the Grom Live, for the Friday night live, and we will tell you more about that later. And of course, we will have to have the unofficial official sponsor. So yeah, it's awesome. Out of the corner of my eye, I am noticing that the chats are blowing up, and it's always awesome to see all of you guys in. I will try my very best to pick out some comments and reply to them, and if I see questions, I will also try my very best to answer them. But I will apologise ahead of that if I don't, I am sorry. I didn't catch it or I missed it. But I do, and I want to stress this, that after every Friday night show, I do sit and I go back through the stream and I just catch up on everybody's comments. So, and it's awesome. You guys just, I can sit here and I can waffle to this camera until the cows come home, but having all of you guys put this amount of time into tuning into me, supporting me, whether it's on the vlog or whether it's on the lives, I appreciate the hell out of it. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. And again, Friday night salute, second one of this week, goes to all of you that were here on the live and anybody that managed to catch up at a later date. So thank you very much. So we're getting close to the time. We don't need no times round here. Yeah, I wear a watch, but that's only because of a fitness point of view. Time depresses me, dude. There's just not enough of it in the day. However, on a stupid Grom fact, there has been talk that actually there's something to do with some solar stuff going on, that in actual fact the daylight hours are changing, like there's more time in the day or something. Need to go and do a rabbit hole search on that one, and I might even tell you more about it, maybe if I can find more about it in next week's news. On that note, I suppose really, you know what the score is. Let's go over to the newsroom and see what we have in store for you lovely people this week. Oh no, he didn't. Yes, he did. He managed to get his stupid glasses on and adjust the camera like a Casey Neistat. I apologise for the flashing stupidity, but that's what you get when you do HD, baby. So this week, been very slow on the news, and at the last hurdle, at the last furlong, I was robbed by a friend of mine that happened to post one of the stories. But it's a monumental story. So guys, girls, if you've seen one of these stories, we are just giving you the update on the situation because the news has been reported. It's always been reported, and I am just a mere passer of news. But you would like to know that we try not to give you disinformation, and we try to give you it as straightforward as we can, leaving out most of the details. So this week, we love them, they're furry, they're stupid, and when you put them in a hamster ball, they become the most dangerous thing known to man. If you've ever had the joys of owning a hamster, you will know that they are the masters of escaping. They have, I would say, a really, storage of their food is quite unreal. And apart from that, when they're set loose in a hamster ball, they just cause chaos around the house and damage in some cases. However, I found a story this week, and it's an old story by a week or so, but a Florida man who tried to run across the Atlantic to London using a makeshift hamster wheel was arrested. This dude, I'm going to say Reza, but it's not. It's like Reze Bellucci, 44, was spotted about 70 miles off of Georgia by the US Coast Guard, and allegedly claimed he wanted to go all the way to the UK, and that was on the 26th of August. According to court documents, the Coast Guard found this dude in a makeshift boat, which was, and I'm still, the jury's out on this one, manifestingly unsafe. And kept afloat by buoys and wiring. So manifestively unsafe. Not only is it a mouthful, but I don't know how I'm ever going to drop that one into a conversation. I really hope at one point soon I can. His voyage began days before Hurricane Franklin, so he's got to be a legend for even wanting to do it, or a little bit more of a Fruit Loop. I think he should be in the collective that is The Madness Is Real. A Category 4 storm at its peak, it hit parts of the Caribbean and moved towards the US. And this guy obviously thought it'd be a great idea to set out. Now, if you know me on a personal level, there's been some considerable jokes over the years due to the fact that I want to get to America. Hashtag go check out the GoFundMe page for the USA Grom Tour 2024. Shameless plug. And I had discussed, is it even possible? Do we think we could paddle it? So this guy just went a little bit Fruit Loop further and thought, nah, screw paddling it. I'm going to make a hamster ball and run it. So yeah, Fruit Loop of the week. What a legend. And next story tonight is very much in theme with most of the mad little stories that I report. And that is that the British X-Files of UFO sightings is going public. So there's two kind of interlaced stories here. One, the UK's Ministry of Defence will publish secret UFO reports for the first time. This is an old story. This was released back in February, the 4th of February 2020. And from the early 1950s until 2009, they're going to basically release documents on the UFO sightings. There's been a lot of, they don't call them UFOs anymore, they call them some really clever stuff, and I can't think of it at the minute. But basically, there's been a lot of sightings since 2020, a lot of issues raised with multiple objects tracking US Navy and other like forces. And so all of a sudden, the big the big dogs themselves have started to take note. There was a Pentagon paper released in, I believe, 2020 as well, because it had got to a final point where so many people had made recordings and collected sort of quite tangible evidence that even the Pentagon themselves had to do an investigation into it. But this also leads into this full story, really, which is that they've the UFO, basically the Pentagon, the new UFO website. So a one-stop shop for website for declassified information. I can't really blow the image up much bigger, but the Anomaly Resolution Office, for short, the AARO. Check them out on a website and they will give you all of the juicy information regarding UFO sightings. And I think this is going to be mostly for the States, but I don't know if it's going to cover other areas. But as always, it's good to know that if they are coming to collect us, we can find the rendezvous point. That's all I'm saying. Our next story tonight is pretty epic. It surrounds the Great Wall, so it's got to be larger than life. The Great Wall of China, an amazing thing that's withstood many a battle. Well, it failed really to do what it should have done, but nevertheless, it stood the test of time. And one of the hardest things for this to stand up to is general erosion and just weathering. So it's done pretty well. It's been around for a couple of minutes now, right? However, there was some builders let loose on it, and the construction workers, instead of constructing, done a wee bit of deconstruction and managed to basically plow a crane through the Great Wall of China. So China's most significant historic defense against invaders' force has been breached by two workers looking for an easy shortcut. Authorities in the People's Republic of China arrested two construction labourers, a 30-year-old man named Zhen and a 50-year-old woman named Wang, accused of smashing through the Great Wall. Pictures released by the government several hundred kilometres west of the capital of Beijing show a dirt road cut through a dilapidated section of the barrier. So yeah, I'm not 100% sure if they are the people responsible for doing the damage, but from the article that I read, it was sold that way. So yeah, quite impressive. Man, I feel for the Great Wall. So this last and final story got blown out of the water by the very own journalist himself, the Mr. Necro Beam, which I hope is watching tonight, and had shared amongst a group of our friends. But the story itself is remarkable. It is truly cosmic, and there is no discrimination or no hate via this story. However, you've just got to love it. So basically this week, and I think it's literally in maybe 48 hours or more, this story's been blown, and it's monumental, guys and girls. It really is. A mysterious hole on a beach in Dublin was seemingly mistaken for a meteorite or a small cosmic event. So a cosmic blunder, they're calling it. And basically, a news segment on Virgin Media News on Wednesday showed what looked like a crater on the Portmannock beach in North Dublin, with questions and whether it was out of this world. Basically, they found this huge pit, and there's been social media videos that have already been released prior to the news report, in which case backs up the story entirely, that basically it was two dudes, or particularly one guy, that had dug this hole on the beach. And I want to say, like, not necessarily an astronomer, but somebody that likes spacey stuff, came across it and found it important enough to report as a cosmic moment. And basically it just blew the beach up. It blew the beach up. The news was gnarly. It got reported on Virgin Media, and people kind of flocked there. And I don't have actual photo evidence, but from what I've been told by my my resources, there was a small stone found at the bottom of it, and people were posing with it and getting photos taken with it because they believed it was the remains of a meteorite. So this is a heavy story. You just gotta love everybody involved in this, from the guys that dug the hole, because if you see this article and look into it, look deep into the article, dude, the hole's epic, man. They really done well to dig this hole. If you've ever seen Friends and you've seen Joey digging a hole, man, this one puts that to shame. And obviously for then that to get blown up and turn into a meteorite story, it's something else. So I remember doing something not as talented this on a beach in Bournemouth, well, Boscombe to be precise, as a teenager, where me and a friend of mine drew a massive character and a quite remarkably interesting quote that was very large, and we spent a long time doing it in the hope that maybe just someone might see it from the cliff tops and be slightly amused. So yeah, all good fun, but we didn't make it into the local news, and we sure as hell didn't cause like a cosmic event. So yeah, that sucks. But that was the news this week. Hope you're well, hope you're winning, and stay safe.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You are now tuned in to Friday Night Live with the Grom.
And we are back into the normal studio. Did you love that change, or did you not love that change? How awesome was that change? Yes, I think it only took us 8 blooming runs at it, but I think we may have succeeded. So, some crazy stories in the news this week. As always, I've done my very best to report all of the facts and the information so correctly, but I think that's half of the fun of it. 9 times out of 10, I will, just for a disclaimer, say it's blooming hard to find funny and interesting stories. It does very much seem that positive news, quirky news, or weird and wacky doesn't tend to do it as well as negative news. So unfortunately, if it's not negative, it ain't news. That's how we see it. However, here on the Friday Night Live with the Grom, we try to see it in a completely different perspective, and we like to look very much outside of the box. However, I will say it seems to be proving dramatically harder and harder every week to find funny, crazy, wacky, and epic stories. So again, this is a call for action to you lovely people that watch the lives. If you want to get stories to me, along with if you want to get any other thing, information, post, obviously big wads of cash we will accept. We will accept most currencies, checks. We'll even take animals. I'm only joking. We don't. It's just me being stupid. But if you want to get information to me, if you want to ask me questions, if you want to leave a Shine a Light segment, or if you want to get news articles to me, please feel free to just hit me up on the email that you see on the screen right now. And it's always appreciated. We like to hear from you guys and girls. So yeah, it's nice to build the community around the vlog, and it's very nice to build the community around the live. Talking about lives, what's going on in the chats? I've noticed it's just the usual suspects, but I love you all, man. So you're awesome. And I see some new names as well, which is always good. So Chris, Mr. Little Chris, and Mr. Big Chris, the coffee guy himself, are in the chats. Cockney Buddha, Necro Bean, my dear boy. Didn't he suffer some abuse on the Corn Life Network? But he takes it. He takes it like a soldier. Obviously, Scrambly Joe in the house. Rick, the man, the myth, the legend, the shreds hard though. He's in the chats. Beautiful to see you here, and thank you again, dude, for doing that pre-warm up fluffing of the Grom, dude. And thank you for sharing the channel. And also, it was really lovely to hear somebody going into the details of it, because if I'm brutally honest, and you've heard me say it probably numerous amounts of times, if there's one thing that I try to do my very best with YouTube, and that's not pay attention to any of the numbers, statistics, analytics, or the like. So to see you go into the page and basically pull up how many views I've had and how many videos I've had, and to say it all started back in 2018. It's kind of like, wow, this is pretty epic. And it kind of don't feel like I'm blowing my own trumpet, because you guys were just smashing it, man. You were like the whole goddamn orchestra tonight. So again, massive thanks to both you and Cam for doing such an awesome job. And I'm not gonna lie, I was like ready to just message in the chats and saying I'm pushing the show back. I'm gonna fire it off like an hour later, because you guys have got to keep going. So yeah, it's awesome. Now, I have I want to say a Tom in the chats, a TOHM. So dude, thank you for being here as well. You'll have to like give me a cunning hint, because sometimes I'm terrible, and I know a few people that come into the group and come into the live chats, and I'm just not familiar with their tag names, man. And we probably talk across multiple platforms. So again, dude, thanks for being here, and always like, you know, just give us some shouts and give us some clues, or hit me up on some other sort of feed as well, man. Like I did want to get like a PO box for this channel. I've said it before, and I was also gonna think about the madness that would to be get a phone line, so just an old burner phone or something, so that we could get like a WhatsApp on there, and then we could put a telephone number up on the show, so we could get like a call line or a call in. Just because what do you think to the thoughts of maybe an agony Grom? Yeah, so you could get like all your best woes and worries, voice them to me, and I'll give you my opinion, but probably no helpful information. Could be a right giggle. If not, we'll just get loads of... I just need drunk callers on a Friday night, because it would be really funny. So we've done the news, guys and girls, and I hope you're enjoying the show so far. Don't forget to hit the hearts and the little like party poppers and the likes and all that stuff. Hit the likes on the main video. Blow it up, do what you got to do, tell a friend, spread the word, spread the vibe, and spread the positivity to all. And yeah, let's try to get this blowing up a little. So drunk callers, dude, you know it'd be epic. I just know for a fact I might end up having to call myself, because especially for some people that are like, I don't know, just like a bit sort of shy, maybe. I don't know. Would they want to go live? And how would I just put them on loudspeaker and we'll mic it? It'd be epic. Did have like huge thoughts of trying to get the live mic that I had on the show with the amazing co-host that was Little Chris, and get out in the street. But I don't know if Andrea's up for it. I need to find a witting participant to just get involved, and it'd be lovely to send some people out in like, I don't know, Aylesbury at 10:20 on a Friday night, and just get them to ask random questions to members of the public that are falling out of pubs and clubs. Again, just a crazy little segment. The only problem with it is I always shoot so big for all of these wonderful ideas, but trying to action them with the time that I have is absolutely near on impossible. Near on being the key word, because yes, it's not over until we win, ladies and gentlemen. And I tell you one thing that I'm blooming sure I'm going to do before this show gets pulled off the air is to get a blooming interview with someone live on it. And I just want to apologise that I haven't got people on yet, and I'm just still trying to figure out just so much. And yeah, that is the one thing that currently is very important to me. So I do want to do it, and there's just a whole line of awesome people that I'd love to get on here as well. So moving on, as the show must go on, one of the questions that I'd like to raise to you lovely people that has just been plaguing me this week is the fact that, do you think, and we're going to do this live on YouTube and see if YouTube themselves ever kind of think this, but do you think, if you are, and I am assuming that you are quite a severe YouTube user like myself, do you not think by now that you should get less adverts the more that you watch? Instead of it almost being more like, the more time I spend on this platform and the more videos that I consume, the more adverts that get forced my way. And this is not like a hate or a rant to YouTube. This is just maybe a loving Grom thought, where it was like, maybe just give a little something back to the viewers, the people that make the you in tube. We don't want to be some like monetized, and we don't want to have to pay for premium stuff. But surely with the amazing information and analytics and algorithms that are available to you guys, you can see at the top the people that spend copious amounts of time on your platform and basically invest in you for you guys to invest in us. Because if you were to take all of the considerable amount of time that so many creators and viewers take out of their days to give back to your website for you guys to do what you do in aid to do what we do, would just be a beautiful thing if there was a small, gracious offering of the more time that we spend, the less adverts we get subdued to. However, and this is just a small print, because there's always small print in deals, I feel like even though we are not subdued to the ad, maybe it would just be really nice if you could still pay the content creator the ad revenue of the ad that would have been there, or given to the people that spend very little time there in comparison to the people that spend so much of their life supporting you to support us to support you. Just a little thought on a Friday night. Imagine me as the beautiful Jerry Springer and just giving you that as a kind of final thought to the week. Just saying. Anyway, trying to move the show on in a positive light, because that's what we try to do around here. If I can find me right bits. If I can find me right bits and push the right buttons. That's what she said. Let's get to the one segment that I do very much enjoy doing. And this week is a little bit off the cuff. But I'll tell you more in a second. So, it is time. Let me see if I can kill that. I didn't do it, did I? I just didn't get it off this week with the cheer. It's been playing a lot. But never mind. We should just queue up a couple of other little crazy bits for you right about now, shouldn't we? Because it's all good fun in the hood. Something like that. We got a crowd cheer. And I think this is very much appropriate for this week's Shining Light. Dude, this week, this Shining Light is going to the man, the myth, the legend himself. Some people know him as, hey, it's the coffee guy. Some people know him as, hey, Mr. Chris. And some people just know him as the man that runs the really awesome coffee van. And if you watch the daily vlogs, you will see that this gentleman and I have kind of been just hardcore for the coffee for a good few years now. And Chris, obviously, if you are still in the chats and haven't passed out already, because I know you're an early bird, man, and you've got so many people to keep happy. But if you're in the chats, yes, you are. How many years have you been doing it now? How many years have you been running the van, dude? How long have we known each other? It's been such a short time, but yet you have made such an impression on me. And today I was struggling to see who I was going to shine a light on. And then you've done it, dude. Just you as the service that you provide and the way in which you provide the service, I'll find my words in a minute. You know what I need, don't I? It'd be wrong to be talking about coffee and not getting a little something, you know? I'm sorry if that gulping was really loud. My missus always screams chugger at me every time I'm drinking water, so if you watch the vlogs, you'll know the score. The coffee guy himself. Today, there was 2 occasions in which he just went way above the call of duty to supply the service at the level that he does. And it's remarkable, and I don't know, apart from basically giving you a gang hug with everybody else that I can rope into it, how to pay you back, dude, because you are an absolute legend. You've always supported the channel ever since you knew about it. You've always helped me through my day, because as much as you kind of laugh it off, seriously, dude, like, I struggle to want to go and find another job, because if it's not on your round, then I'm not interested. But it's a double-edged sword with the fact that the only reason I go to work, and some people might say it's for the money, and if you know me well enough, you'll know that money is probably down the list somewhere past, like, I don't know, sleeping in a tent, maybe? I don't know. Like, I can't even think of a comparison how far work and money is down on my list. But you, my friend, make it all the worthwhile going to work and I can only tell you just how bad it is when you're not there. You got to have time off, dude, but please don't. But yeah, I just want to say, dude, you're an absolute legend. You are this week's Shine a Light, and I can only just keep trying to do more to shine a light on you across. Like, I'd love to do it across social medias, but I'm just useless and I don't like it anymore. So I would just have to tell people far and wide by this live to say, if you ever have the opportunity to be in the beautiful area of High Wycombe, Tame, and you should hit all the rest up in there, dude, of all the other spots that you see. If you're in those areas, you work and you like coffee, you need to get onto this guy. If you want him for special events, contact him. I'm going to put a link to his Instagram page in the description. So if you want to find him for bookings, private events, or just basically go and throw money at him because he's just amazing and he bloody deserves it. So go check him out. Go check out his Instagram page. And you, what else do you have, Mr. Chris? Leave your details. Fire them up in that chat, dude. Because again, just I would love to promote you as much as maybe Rick and Chill promoted me tonight. Because if only I can pass on the positive vibe, it will feel like I'm providing a service to so many. So that was this week's Shine a Light. Get at me again. I'll say it again. Hit me up. Hit me up with this little email address. Get Shine a Light segments. Anybody that you would like for me to just kind of say how awesome they are, why you think they're awesome. It doesn't even need to be that. It could be someone that you deal with that you've never met. Or sorry, if you've never known them on like a name-to-name basis. It might just be somebody that you interact with via work or via your daily adventures, but makes your life a little bit easier. Or it could be someone that's so close to you that maybe you just want to give them another little bit of props and a little bit of love, and get me to basically talk a load about them. But hit me up on that email address, and that goes for news, Shine a Light segments. I do want to get a couple more segments back because I was going to do a I don't believe it section this week, but I already felt like maybe the opening kind of rant would have just been enough negativity that I don't want to go and make you feel any worse before Saturday arrives on our doorstep. But yes, the weekend is nearly upon us, guys and girls. Friday Night Live with the Grom is the doorway to the awesomeness, but it's not quite here yet. So what's your plans? What have you got booked in for the weekend? Are you guys grafting, taking over the world, chilling out, recovering? Let me know. Let me know in the comments. What's your plans for the weekend? And it's awesome to see you guys blowing up the chats. Sometimes I actually just want to like sit back and let the chats just flow, because trust me, reading back through them, it cracks me up. And sometimes I hate it for the fact that I don't see the most funniest of things on the live because I'm trying to do one thing at once. But yeah, it's awesome, man. Dude, off to the Tank Museum. Dan Saf. Which one, dude? Are you going anywhere near Salisbury by any chance? Or is it Bovingdon? I think Bovingdon Tank Museum. That's a good one if you're into tanks. Dude, bless you. The coffee guy, the shiner light of the week, has got to work tomorrow. The guy never stops. You're a legend. That's back-to-back weekends and a full week having to deal with me and the Motley crew. Yeah, Bovington, legend. Dude, that is an amazing tank museum. Check me out with my general knowledge there. Dude, I've got photos of me as a very, very small Grom at that place. Full camos, dude. You need to go rock full camos. Maybe not at your age, but when you're 10, you can do it. Screw it. Just do it now. Make sure that everybody's wearing fatigues, dude. Go rock up. Go and get some photos. And have an awesome day, dude. So if you're traveling down south, travel safely. And, dude, nice part of the country. Make the most of it while you're there and go and see some other little bits, because there's dude, are you going to go see the legendary Stonehenge? Because that's in that sort of neck of the woods, if my brain serves me correct. Anyway, so the unofficial official sponsor of the week. It would be rude if I didn't give this one to the Corn Life Network. So I've bigged them up a little bit, not said enough, but this week I don't have anything to show for it. I wanted to have a clip to kind of like bombard you with. But the Corn Life Network, one, I want to thank him for having me on the show last weekend. Dude, it was an honour. And it's like the 4th and 5th, I believe, times that I've been on your show and on your YouTube channel. Dude, it's always a pleasure. Thank you for having me on there. And thank you again for doing the fluffing of the Grom on a Friday night. And that was an honour, and to hear the things that you and Cam were saying as the show kicked off was just phenomenal. And I was sort of a bit embarrassed for my goddamn self because they don't take praise very well. So you guys saying what you're saying and what you always say is epic. But Rick, personally, from me to you, bro, you're an absolute legend. It's beautiful to have you back on YouTube. It was very hollow without you, man. There's some entertaining people in the world, but dude, you, my friend, and your lovely wife, Brooke, always do an amazing show. You've done some amazing interviews, and I would highly recommend anybody that has any interest in Ben Gravy or the like, his brothers, and fam, and just the story, and you want to see kind of an insight or a background to their lives before they got to where they are now, go and check out the Corn Life Network. There's some awesome interviews on there, and I know he's working very hard to bring you an exclusive new interview. I think maybe I've said too much, but I know he's working on some awesome stuff for the future. His channel is amazing, and he will be doing, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Rick, but I believe this gentleman is going to continue to do Saturday night live shows, which again is awesome, and I myself am always tuned in. Last week I was on it. It was absolute manic, and bless him, he soldiered through some of the gnarliest technical problems that it would have crippled a man of my stature. But Rick's a pro, and in the true meaning of the show must go on, that guy soldiered on through. He had to put up with me and Cam, Mr. Chill Adventures himself, and then carried on to do another one on the Sunday, and then done one earlier tonight. And I think he has plans to do more at different times, but you'd have to go and check out his channel. If you haven't already subscribed, go and hit the subscribe button, go smash some videos, do some delving into the gentleman's archives. And if you've ever seen the documentary The Dream with Ben Gravy, there is a gentleman in there that is so stoked to be in there, and he'll tell you more if you ask. But went and was part of the documentary at the Wave Pool Inn. You'll have to remind me, Rick. And dude, his part in that is epic, but I think the part that he's played in the story, the pre-story to the legendary Ben Gravy, is quite remarkable itself, because yeah, there's some beautiful stories to be had. So go check out his channel, go subscribe, and just as much while you're there, there you go, Omaha, Nebraska, baby. I think I pronounced that right. Yeah, dude, it was epic. And if you've seen the documentary, you would have seen this gentleman, and yeah, he's a monumental. He is, I would say, possibly. I'm gonna maybe go out on a limb here, Mr. Rick, and I'm gonna say, if there were chairman to the Nub Nation, I do believe, dear boy, you would be very much at the head of it. So yeah, Friday night salute to the unofficial official sponsor. I don't have anything to just throw under the camera and say go and buy it, but definitely go buy, drop in, say what's up from the Grom, he sent you. Smash a subscribe and go and hit some views up for this gentleman, because he's awesome, and we want him to do more. So while you're at it, go check out Chill Adventures, and go and show him some love and give him some abuse, because I know he loves it. So again, tell him, if you go and see the channel, go and check him out and tell him that the Grom sent you, just because then they can give me some more abuse somewhere down the line for giving them some abuse. So it's a beautiful thing. We got to restore the dumb, clever balance in the universe. So if we're putting out too much positivity, we got to have a little bit of negativity just to keep us all grounded so our heads don't get too big and we float away on the dream. Dude, it's awesome. So yeah, thank you. Thank you, Rick. Thank you for having me on, and thank you for being our unofficial official sponsor. Bet you didn't see that one coming. So I'm going to close the show this evening with some monumental news, some Friday Night Live exclusive, but it also comes with a very big sorrow vibe about it. Next week's show is going to be what I'm claiming as the last of the summer season. So if you watch the vlog, you will see that I've been mentioning that Andrea and I are off on holidays. Yeah, I didn't expect that. This is a drop of bomb, man. If only I'd had a bomb sample. Yeah, no, I haven't got one. I'm not even looking. So, yes, basically, next Friday's show will be the last show of the summer season. But like all good shows, we will return in the autumn. I've always wanted to say that. Check me out. That's like official. That's almost, I will say almost very loosely, as good as Rick announcing that you have to go and get seats quick because they run out on the Grom show. So, yeah, dude, basically it's going to be, good night, Mr. Chris. Sweet dreams, my friend, and sleep well, and we'll definitely catch up soon. But yes, next Friday, or this coming Friday, is going to be the last Grom Live, only for a matter of time, but we will be back in the autumn with the same madness, and maybe even a little sprinkle of epic on top. I'm hoping to have a few things sorted out by then, but basically, long and short of it, is that Andrea and I are finally going on holiday for the first time in 4 blooming years since we bought this house. And we're going on like proper holidays abroad on a plane and flying away. Still not really let you guys into where I'm going. I may even break it to you on the live next week. If anybody does know where I'm going, don't spoil it for the viewers at home. But yeah, we is going to get on a plane. We's going to fly away. But in light of that, it will also bring some pretty darn good vlogging content. I'm even going to switch up, and I might even turn on the 4K on the GoPro. Yeah, I'm feeling that crazy, but I'm hoping the place that we go is worth it and deserves that. So yeah, some 4K footage coming on the Grom's channel, which is like unheard of. Me and Andrea are going to get a little bit of time away, but I will also tell you that there is going to be no stop, if I can help it, on the vlog. So the vlog's coming daily, so make sure that you tune into that. If you haven't subscribed to the channel already, go and whack that, and whack the notification and whack the bell to say notify me to all, because otherwise YouTube don't like it if you don't do all the stupid things that us YouTubers have to ask you. So make sure you do that. Keep in tune, because the vlogs are going to be somewhat a little bit more interesting than me being sat at a bench bending copper and stainless steel and building things. It might even be verging on made it status. Keep your fingers crossed and stay tuned. But there will be no Friday Night Live as of after next Friday. So sad times, but it's pretty epic when you have a show that comes in for a season, does a little something, and then takes a break, you know, comes back in the autumn, gets you all moist and waiting for that lovely thing that follows, the winter. However, that does also leave an opening for some epic people to give you some epic content. And I know that I'm pretty sure in saying, if you need something to get you through those nights when I'm not here on a Friday, I'm sure the man himself, Mr. Corn, can supply you a little something, if not on the Friday and the Saturday, because I know he's an OG, triple, quadruple OG when it comes to live broadcastings. I'm pretty much sure he will be there on a Saturday night to entertain you guys while I'm off on my merry little holidays, living the blooming dream myself. So guys and girls, that leads me to the end of the show. I hope you've enjoyed it. Don't forget to hit all the likes and the loves and the party poppers and the 100% and all the good stuff. Smash some comments in the live. Let us know where you were watching, when you were watching, and what you thought. I think it was pretty much a smooth show to some degree, other than me not turning off the crowd cheer every time. But nevertheless, it's beautiful to have you all here. Thank you very much for taking the time out on your Friday night. I appreciate the hell out of you guys. Have a fantastic weekend. Stay safe, stay focused, and stay positive to the best of your capabilities. But just an important message to you all. Just remember, it's okay to not be okay. And it's okay to be in a funk. But most of all, it is not anything less than just being human if you need to talk to someone. So do please, if you ever need to chat, you want to vent, rant, scream, or throw abuse at someone, reach out. Reach out to me, reach out to many of the people that associate with me, because I know that there's a lot of us out here that are fighting our own struggles, but we are always more than willing to give a lending hand to anyone that feels like they're in a funk or even worse. So don't be quiet, don't struggle, put up a good fight, but don't feel it's anything less than being just good old-fashioned human to ask for help or reach out and ask for a favour. Unfortunately, that favour stops at loads of money because I don't have loads of money. But if you do wish to donate money to the USA Grom Tour, there is a GoFundMe link. And also, if you ever feel like buying the old Gromster a coffee, feel free to hit up Buy Me a Coffee app and fire something up there. On that, I'm not taking any more of your Friday night. Friday night salute to you all. Have a beautiful weekend, and I'll see you next Friday, 10:45 p.m. GMT, YouTube. You know the score.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You are now tuned in to Friday Night Live with the Grom.